Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick Curtis, Chief Monkey of Wall Street Oasis, and this is Monkey to Millions, a show where you get a front row seat as I mentor young students and professionals to try and help them break into their dream jobs. In the first cohort, you'll meet 4 students, all preparing for intense job interviews while trying to also balance a personal life and schoolwork. The goal of this show is to shine a light on the struggles of trying to break into competitive positions with a non-traditional background and to give you a roadmap for your own success. My hope is that as you get to know these 4 impressive students, you are inspired to dream big. Remember, these are real people and this is their true story. Let's get to it. In this short session, we catch up with Grace to hear how she's prepping for her real estate internship with Blackstone. We go over what she's currently involved in on campus and give her a few tips to help her get ready. Enjoy. Okay, Grace, session number 5,000. No, just kidding.
I know, I've lost count.
Yeah, how's it going? How's everything going? I know you're probably wrapping up your school year in a month, right? A month or two?
Yeah, I have probably about 4 weeks left. So getting near the end of it. So it's been a very hectic, chaotic semester, not in a bad way, but definitely my most challenging yet, or busiest of undergrad.
Really?
So,
even with the recruiting being behind you and everything?
Yes, more so because I've gotten extremely involved on campus with leading a lot of undergrad like finance clubs. So I've been doing a lot of mentoring to underclassmen, helping them out with recruiting. Awesome. And then also just that combined with the classes that I'm in now. So it's been a lot, but I've been learning a lot too in some of my classes this semester. That's been really nice.
Very good. And so, yeah, it's probably, I guess the classes are harder now.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's more of the truly finance focused classes. And I also have more freedom in what I can take. So they're a lot more engaging for me as well. And in particular, I'm in this one class, or it's kind of a program that we have where it's a small fund that manages part of Fordham's endowment. So it's a very structured program. And that's been taking up a lot of my time. I've been learning so much though. And I think it's preparing me really well for the summer actually, because it's kind of getting me more into that like investor mindset in a way. Yep. Where that I hadn't necessarily been in when I was doing banking internships prior. Are you guys doing real estate out of that fund or no? Or it's mostly just so I'm the real estate analyst in the fund, so we but it's more of the REITs that we cover. So it's all publicly traded securities, but it's still been really helpful just to keep me on top of things in the real estate market in general.
Very cool. So what's the plan? Just finish out this year, and then when do you start at Blackstone?
I start on June 1st. So it's coming up. Yes. And it's full 10-week program. So
school, like, don't they like end of May or something like that? Some schools like that's so
right. Yes. I have some friends who have start dates, I think 2 days after their last final.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's brutal. Okay. So you're there for June 1st, and then is it through August, or how does it work?
Yes, it's June 1st through I think August 10th or August 8th, sometime around there is our last day. Yeah. We only get 3 days of training, as they call it, and then we hit the desk after that. So I know it's going to be an intense 10 weeks, but I'm very excited for it. I've been getting coffee with a lot of people who I'll be working with, or people just who are also working in other related areas nearby. So I think I've been trying to prepare as much as I can in that regard also.
Yeah, and you're have you met anybody that's going to be in your class, your intern class?
Not yet. They still haven't given us the list of names. Mm-hmm. And I found people who are in other groups who sit next to us on the floor. At least a couple others.
For like incoming analysts or incoming.
Right. It's difficult.
Yeah, that is tough.
I think my group will have about 8 to 10 interns. So it's not too big of a number, which is nice.
And any kind of indication in terms of like when you'll hear like halfway through probably a review and then like near the end of whether you get a full-time offer? Is it similar to the banks?
Mm-hmm. That's usually how it works. And also they don't hire more interns than they have spots. So we're not competing against the other interns for a limited number of spots. They have a place for everyone as long as we perform well. Yeah. So they are really rooting for us throughout the summer. And since it is, of course, it is buy side. So a lot of what they focus on throughout the summer is that end of internship presentation that we do. So in our case, every single intern gets assigned like a property or portfolio of properties that the firm owns. And then we have to really just do a deep dive on our recommendation for what to do with the investment, essentially. And then we present to all of the senior team on that
really
at the end of the internship.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done the real estate modeling course for us?
I tried to get access to it before, and I don't think it was unlocked. I've been using other just kind of like ad hoc resources that people have been sending me.
Sure.
But I haven't.
Make sure you have that before. I mean, when's your last final?
Around May 10th, I think.
I mean, I think you could figure it out, but it'd be nice to just see that, because do you know what kind of properties you're going to be looking at?
I won't find out until I start.
So like the good part about that is there's lots of different asset classes, different types.
Right.
You already know the lingo probably. If you're interested in real estate, you've probably already seen it, but just like that course, I think would be helpful for you before the
yes.
Like even that much more like on it.
Yes.
When people are talking to you or having those conversations, like if it's a VP or a director and they're like, and you're like blank stare, like if you don't understand what they're talking about.
Right.
Because like each sub asset class under real estate has all their little nuances, right? So
yes.
I think having like knowing those little nuances will actually make you look really good going. So let's make sure you have that after this call. Just email me again.
Okay.
And I'll make sure VMesh gets you access to that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
How else can I be helpful? Because that just struck me as like, okay, have you even looked at the real estate modeling course? That's probably the best place right now, is just to get the internship. And then not that you're going to be doing like modeling every day, but if you have that big project, that might just help set it up. Although my guess is they're going to spoon feed you a little bit.
Right. And a lot of that is, I think, also centered on the qualitative aspects of it.
Yeah.
Like knowing the market and trends, things like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay. How else can it be helpful? So it sounds like you're doing everything right. You're meeting people. I think as soon as you know who's in your class, I mean, you're going to see them anyways in the first 3 days of training. It'll be a lot of fun. I think just, building good relationships with those people, I think goes a long way. It's just really nice that you're not like competing with them.
Right. I think that changes the dynamic a lot.
Totally. It makes it so much more fun and collegial and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Anything else I can be helpful though with for just prepping for that? Obviously you got to get through finals.
Right. Not that I can think of. Whatever the advice that everyone's been giving me, of course, as an intern, right? Just like have a good attitude, and be willing to learn, ask a lot of questions. Of course, kind of the general.
Yeah, be positive.
Advice,
don't complain.
Right.
Don't come in late. Don't be like leaving early or dipping out. That
right.
stuff. Especially the first. Sometimes at some point they may be like, "What are you doing here?" Like leave. And at that point, like if you check with people, then it's fine. But it's still kind of like a long interview process. You can think of it like that.
Right. Of course. And then there's a lot of things that I really won't find out until I start that first week on the desk, even just like what the dynamic is with my team in particular, and kind of how they function, because I don't, I can't really tell until I'm in the office on the floor.
Yeah, it's just hard to know until you're there. But I mean, it looks like you're in a good spot. And then assuming you get the offer and you like it, you'll probably just accept. And then if not, we'll kind of put our heads together and figure out. I'm sure you, right. I don't think that's going to happen, but in the worst case scenario, I always like to think of like, contingency plans. I'm like, okay, well, if you didn't get an offer, I don't think I think given that you had the city internship, I think you'd still be in a good spot.
Right. I've been making sure to keep up my connections that I have elsewhere. So
it's awesome. I hope you're telling all the freshmen to start now.
Oh, yes. And I think it's because they also are farther behind, I think, the current freshmen and sophomores, because since they started remote, when you're not around the pressure of everyone else, like, oh, you need to be on top of things, they, I think, fell behind when it came to really everything, like networking and just like trying to learn about opportunities out there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the whole class, it's weird how it impacted different groups. Like first year analysts that went through it, and then second year analysts loved it. first year analysts hate, well, some loved it. Second, because they were already like knew everybody and they like were like, oh, now I have freedom.
Right.
Like I know how to do the job. First year analysts, it was horrible for because they didn't have anybody coaching them like right there and they were left alone, never built those relationships. So it's really interesting what COVID did. But yeah, hopefully you can help them get up to speed faster.
Yes.
Give them all the tools.
And now too, since even though I'm back in person fully this summer, and Blackstone has been one of the most forward proponents of being in the office all the time, but I've been told, at least in my group too, that it's common that people will go home after 8 o'clock. And even if they're going to be working really late, they'll work from home after a certain hour at night.
Oh, that's good.
Or like weekend work, you can do at home a lot too. So that's nice to hear.
That's nice. I remember when I was at Rothschild, I lived like on purpose with 5-minute walks from the office. So I could like, if I had to come in on the weekend or anything, it wasn't like a subway ride or something.
Right.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you're ready to go. Maybe we can chat midway through the summer or something like that, just to catch up, see how things are going.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll reach out once I've started the internship and we can
and
something.
And if anything comes up in the meantime, if I can be helpful, just make sure to ping me about the real estate course because
okay.
I think that would be helpful just to spin through it. Maybe not, even just watching the modeling, even if you don't want to build it alongside the instructor. I think just seeing it would make things just a little bit easier once you
having a high level understanding of
there's hotel, there's commercial, there's multifamily, there's everything in there. So
okay, perfect.
I think that would be helpful. Other than that, I think that's it on my end.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Well,
quick update today.
Everything again. And then just I think the first week, just try to be honed in and focused. But
yes.
Don't you also don't want to be so intense where people you rub people the wrong way. Just having the positive attitude.
Right.
Basically what you got to do. And you're smart enough where you can figure out the other stuff. It'll with time, if you ask good questions.
Yes. Just kind of match everyone else's energy and level of intensity.
Exactly. All right, Grace. Well, congrats with everything. Keep me updated and have a great beginning to the internship.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Okay. Chat soon. Bye.
And thanks to you, my listeners at Wall Street Oasis. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send them my way, Patrick@wallstreetoasis.com. Until next time.